Well, thank you, Julian. It's great to be here, and thank you for those very warm words. And I look back indeed on 4 years when I worked very closely with the industry, represented so well by Julian, and also had responsibilities as a sponsoring minister for some key companies investing in the UK, one of which was Huawei. So it's great also to be sharing the platform with Nigel and with the other distinguished speakers. I think we shouldn't spend too much time on kind of defining what 5G is, but just to start as a layman, and you were all the technical experts, for me what I think is significant about 5G is that it is a system which will make the Internet of Things possible and connecting many more units, many more objects in continuous communication than the kind of person-to-person use of the mobile phone that we're already familiar with. So, of course, there will be individuals for whom being able to download a complete film in a second or whatever is the most exciting feature of 5G. But for me, it is this wider opportunity for the Internet of Things that really makes it significant. And I think that's what's caught our imagination within government, and it's an interest that's very real, both in BIS, in DCMS, and goes right up to number 10. And we're very keen for this in government for several reasons. One is, to be frank, that it's an opportunity for us in the UK once more to be at the cutting edge of technological development in this area. We really were crucial players in the early stages of mobile telephony. I think the auction for 3G spectrum was too successful. It was too well designed by really smart economists who understood how to extract a large amount of money in an auction. It probably ended up taking too much money out of the industry, and we've observed the consequences of that, where we're doing respectably in 4G, but no more than that. What I want the UK to be is one of the world leaders in 5G, and that's why we are trying to take the advantage of being early movers in this space. How could we take that advantage? First of all, I would like to see the UK playing a crucial role in standard setting, which was part of the key to our success in those early stages of mobile telephony. You could argue that the success of Vodafone as a European and then global mobile phone company went back to some very successful negotiation in standard setting in the early days. I'd like to see the UK playing a prominent role in standard setting again. We're already doing some of that. I think Ofcom needs to take a key role here and be funded in order to play that constructive, crucial role in standard setting. And why also having Huawei on the platform is so important. UK can get some way in shaping the standards agenda through our intellectual and technological understanding. But if we work closely with allies, such as in Europe and in China, we really can help shape standards. And I know from trade missions and visits to China that I participated in just in the last 12 months, the Chinese are very keen to work with us and trying to set the standards of the future. So first on my list would be helping to get the standards right by playing a constructive role in all the key European and global forums for that. Secondly, we do need to invest in the R&D, and that's why I'm delighted that we've also got Surrey represented here on the platform. And we were very early on to invest in 5G R&D. I remember setting up the so-called RPIF projects, co-investment in R&D, where we said we would put public money in to new R&D facilities on university campuses if those universities could find at least twice as much funding from commercial partners. It was a scheme that we launched in 2012, and very high up in the list, one of the first bidders was Surrey with this very imaginative proposal for a 5G R&D centre. And they worked with Huawei, with Vodafone, with others. And it's great to see a real centre of 5G expertise there in Surrey. And we need to continue to invest in that. We've also created a network of institutions combining public and private funding that aim to help contribute to the development of 5G. In fact, we've ended up with 4. And there are some tidy-minded people who think that 4 is too many, but I think they each have a distinctive role. And just to go through them, there's obviously one of the newest proposal, not yet in existence, is the Turing Institute, which will do the upstream work in areas such as the maths of algorithms to ensure that we remain key leaders in IT. We've got the Open Data Institute, which is already playing a crucial role in standard setting for data, especially but not only from the public sector. We've got Tech City, which has done a great job in raising the profile and opportunities in the IT space, especially, of course, in the East End of London. And I have to say, I think one of the great opportunities for us in the Internet of Things will be our proverbial skills in providing the apps that really extract value. And then fourth, there is the Catapult Centre. We have a network of Catapult Centres roughly based on the German Fraunhofer Institutes, and we have a connected digital catapult. Now that's got several areas that it's particularly focusing on. One that is very relevant for 5G is city demonstrators. And that's what I'd like to turn to next, because my understanding of the Internet of Things is this is something which can be trialled in geographical areas. Although, as a layman, I think of all these developments as essentially global, this is an area where city demonstrators really can play a role. And we have several key British cities that are very excited about this opportunity. We've put money into Glasgow already as a city demonstrator. The Catapult Centre is working with Milton Keynes. London is, of course, very interested in this. I should also mention Birmingham, that is working closely with Amy and Telefonica, and also Bristol. Those are cities which are already taking the early steps to operationalise some of the potentials for the Internet of Things in their areas. So in Birmingham, they're looking at technologies. I went up there and they briefed me earlier this year for monitoring literally the temperature of pavements and roads so they can work out when gritting is needed and how much gritting is needed. In Bristol, they're pressing for much more real-time data about energy use. At the moment, you get data on energy use in very large clumps every 6 months, a long time in arrears. They want real-time energy use data so they can help monitor energy use in their city. In Glasgow, they were focusing on the flow of people with events like the Commonwealth Games. And one thing I would urge you to do, therefore, is to link in, if you've not already done so, with our Smart Cities agenda, because you've got British cities that are keen to be on the lead on that. Another area where there are opportunities for us that we can and must seize are in the areas of security of the data, especially cyber security. This is an area where Britain has considerable expertise, and if there's anything that could destroy consumer confidence in the possibilities of 5G is if people aren't confident that when their BMW is telling their flat that they're a mile away and please could the central heating be turned on, or the fridge telling Tesco, please will you deliver a litre of milk. If those type of communications can be intercepted by others from anything from knowing when you're out of the house through to intercept if your fridge has got control over your bank account in order to pay Tesco's, then someone who can crack your fridge system might be able to crack your bank account. People are thinking about these cyber security issues in the UK. I think there are already some of the businesses that are expanding in this area are insufficiently aware of the cybersecurity risks, and we are funding some cybersecurity work in this area. So I would put that down as a distinctive area of British expertise. So I think if you look at those opportunities and the way that we're seizing them, standard setting, investing in R&D, setting up institutes that link the world of commerce and public funding and public policy, really keen cities that want to be demonstrators of what can happen, and a strength in cybersecurity. There really are areas here where Britain has got a lot to offer as 5G expands. Let me conclude by just reflecting a bit on what the opportunities are and what the risks are. There clearly are enormous opportunities, and I would urge you all as technical experts to communicate to a wider lay audience about what those opportunities are beyond just the volume and speed of downloading material onto your mobile phone. And we've already heard some examples, but when I was being briefed on this, the kind of things that excite me are the potentials for smart meters, what that means for everything from helping monitor energy use through to ensuring that we no longer lend tens of millions, hundreds of millions of pounds to energy companies in fixed payments for our energy bills that often run ahead of the energy that we are actually using. There's a populist cause there. I think of the opportunities for monitoring the medical condition of people at home so they don't have to be in hospital, and the flows of data required between the home and the hospital or some other medical monitoring centre will only be possible as we invest in 5G. And instead of a clunky once-a-day assessment, frail elderly people could be continuously assessed. That's a great opportunity. And it's not just domestic, it's international as well. It's the kind of opportunity for supervising from the UK or a consultant in the UK directing surgery in remote locations with sufficient confidence that with no interruption in service, that this really can be mass access to high quality surgery across developing country. So there's a lot of benefits there that we should be able to communicate and focus on. But there are risks as well. And I think the biggest risk, and we can already see it as a growing issue, is around privacy and security. People will want to be confident that all this extraordinary flow of data about where they're travelling to and from, how their house is functioning, you can already, by careful monitoring of activity, work out which rooms people are in, when they go to bed, when they get up. All that data will mean that the anxieties that people already have about data on them on the web will, I think, intensify. And it's far better if the industry can be early on to writing standards and protocols that properly protect individual privacy rather than being caught out in scares further down the track. So I think this is a very exciting technology. I think the UK is in a great position to participate in the development of this opportunity. I hope you will communicate their benefits to lay people, and I hope you'll also be aware of some of the anxieties that they're bound to have. Thank you very much indeed.